The what and the how of manifestation are probably two of the most important and most talked about, but also the most misunderstood aspects of manifestation. When we think about manifestation, we're often taught to focus on the what, and many of us are taught to not focus on the how you manifest what it is that you want. And oftentimes it refers to the details, the action steps, the things on what you're going to do, how you're going to get there, all those different aspects of manifestation. And what I find interesting is when we hear those phrases like, don't worry about the how, just focus on the what. What comes up for me is this sense of vagueness, unclarity, because yes, it is important to focus on the what. And oftentimes the what comes from what we don't want, right? And actually having some experiences, understanding that these things that we have experienced before are not ideal, are not things that we want to experience, things that we want to have. And therefore we lean into the opposite of that, which is what we want, right? So as we get into the what we want, I think it is very important to focus on the aspects of getting the what, the aspects of our role, our responsibility to creating the what. And I think it focuses on the doing. Many people, teachers, don't worry about what you do. Just simply sit. I remember when The Secret first came out, and a lot of the criticism about The Secret was that it focused on simply what, visualization, and nothing really tangible, nothing practical. And I lean towards the more practical aspects of spirituality. A lot of times I even refer to myself as someone who studies and teaches practical spirituality, because simply just sitting there and visualizing, though that is a very important aspect of manifestation and something that many people are able to do, I think it is unfair to simply just focus on that as something that we all can do. The truth of the matter is we all manifest differently. And so when you think about all these different techniques and all these different books you read, all these different teachers, you have to understand that you have to use what resonates with you and put into practice what you think is going to work for you. And eventually along the way, you'll come to your own mastery of how it is you manifest things. Now, for me and for many of the people that are having trouble with manifestation, it is the physical aspects of manifestation, the doing that I think most of us lack, because we simply assume that visualization is it. We simply assume that simply putting the idea in our minds, feeling as if it is already obtained, is enough. But also you have to keep in mind that we are physical beings. We have a physical body. And this physical body is meant to actually do physical things, to take action, to move things. And when we think about it from that point of view, realize that in this realm, in this reality, it is the purpose of our bodies to actually create and do what we need to do in order to manifest the desires we have in our head, in our consciousness. So though visualization and even meditation and, affirmation, all these different things are products of the conscious mind, the spirit, we have to understand also the other aspect of ourselves, which is physical, which means action, taking action, doing things. And when you do things, then you are in a space of living in motion toward the goal. You are actually physically taking those steps along the path of your mastery, of understanding the creator that is you, understanding the God that is within you. Realize your ability to create, to move, to do things is a tool for you to actually create the thing that you wish to have, to do the things you need to do to create it. Now, I'm not saying you should have everything laid out and you should absolutely know everything that you're going to do to manifest the thing that you want, because in many cases, you don't know how to do it. That's why you want it in the first place, because you've never had it. So you don't know how to do the things you need to do in order to get it. But you have some kind of an idea. You have some kind of an inkling. Somewhere in your gut, there's a thought, there's a feeling, there's something that is telling you to do a particular thing. And I believe that when you actually follow through with that step, whatever it is, then it will lead you to the next step and the next step. And eventually you are walking down the path of actually creating the thing that you want. So action is very important to manifestation. It's simply not about just focusing on the what. The what is important, but the how is just as important. Realize that when we talk about the how, people are talking about letting the universe do its work, being a co-creator. And I'm not a fan of that term, co-creation, because that puts you in the back seat of your manifestation. That puts you in the back seat of your mastery. That assumes that you are separate from the universe when you say something like co-creation, when in fact you are the creator. It is your consciousness that is actually putting forth the thought, the idea, the processes of which the thing you want can be materialized in your hand. So it is not simply the universe doing all the work. You are with the universe. You are one with the universe. The universe is you. So when you take away that whole co-creation aspect and understand you are the creator and that the universe is a part of you, is an aspect of you, and you are using that intelligence to support you in what it is that you want to create, then it changes everything. And also realizing that your physical body is meant to actually take action to do the things you have to do in order to create the thing that you want. So the what is what you want. The how is understanding the things you need to do at this particular moment in order to get you through the path of creating the thing that you want. It's not about having a clear idea, a clear strategy, a clear picture. It's simply following your intuition. It's simply taking time to really think and say, okay, if this is what I want, what are some things that I can do to create this? Where can you take accountability? Where can you own your role as a creator with the consciousness, the idea, the what, and your physical body to understand the how, to begin the motion, the momentum of the how, right? How can you bring those two together to actually move forward along the process of materializing the thing that you desire? This is how it works. So you may be somebody who can just simply sit there and say, okay, this is what I want, and maybe it can fall in your lap. But most people don't work that way. This is why we have things like steps and strategies and formulas and techniques and outlines and, strategies, is because there are two aspects coming together, the metaphysical aspect and the physical aspect. The metaphysical is the ability to visualize, connect with the universe, and have the universe just kind of drop it right in your lap. But then there's the other parts where you are a physical being that you need to do some physical steps in order to have it come to you and fall in your lap. All right. So I hope that helped you. And I hope that helped you to clarify this vague term of focus on the what and not the how, because it is the how that actually gets you moving along the process and feeling as if you are actually doing something, feeling as if you are in the process of creating, because it is you in the process of creating. So the feeling isn't just a feeling of just like imagination or just thinking you're doing something when you're really not. The feeling is actually feeling yourself doing it because you are doing it. All right. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. Peace and abundance always.